What up, techies and gamers? Guess what we are reviewing today? Haven't guessed yet? What? Wait, actually you saw the thumbnail, so you kind of do know what we're doing, but so if you don't by now, then just click off the video, unsubscribe, throw your iPhone out the window. What? That's right, you guessed it correct. The Tonor T90 RGB Boom arm for your mic, for your desk setup, for your podcasting, for your gaming, for your streaming, YouTube video creation such as this, then this might be the setup that you are looking for to look nicer, to look more flashy, to look more professional, all of those awesome things to create your own personal little flair and identity online. This is the way to go. And if you're not going this way, I don't know where you're going, you're lost. What? In typical fashion, we're going to review, unbox, talk about the pros and cons on the Tech Toys and Gaming Show. And with that, let's just get right to it. Slide. How come I have this lid yet? Slide. All right, so here's the box it comes in. Let's see what comes with this T90 RGB Boom arm for your microphone. Okay, off the rip, nicely packaged here. So what I want to do is just get the biggest piece, which is the most interesting part of it first, and see what accessories and everything else that comes with it. Now, just grabbing this off of the rip, I will let you know that this boom arm has got some weight. It is heavy and bulky. And take a good look at what you see here, techies and gamers. This looks nice and modern and futuristic with its little bits of Tonor branding going on there, which is quite nice. Now, feeling it, this outer case here feels like plastic, right? This outer shell here, but it looks quite pretty. Two little circular wheels, and I believe that one of these, is it this side? I think it's this side that is the touch capacitive side to change between your RGB modes with this arm. So yeah, ooh, that is nice heavy tension right there. So the tension on this arm is really real. So I presume it needs to be, considering the weight on this. So these joints need to be able to support the weight you put on this, plus your microphone. This is where you dock onto your desk, and this is where you dock your microphone. It's sturdy build overall, though. This feels pretty solid in my hands. We have our desk mount, which is plastic 100% and has a nice little rubber base here with nice texture for grip onto your table, so it doesn't damage your table, right? And this would be for tightening and loosening the actual arm once you've inserted it there. Then over here we probably have the rest of the desk mount, right? Yep, and that is it. 100% cold metal, so you'll probably need to unwind this, obviously. And last but not least, we have a cable here, USB-C to USB-A. So this is the long cable you'll get for connecting. Most likely you'll connect it to your PC for enabling your RGB to take place on your boom arm. All right, techies and gamers, here we are with all our components, which aren't many, right? There's just 4 pieces that come in the box and your instructions. So the interesting thing about this base unit that connects to your desk mount, is that there is a small little hole in the front of that clamp that goes underneath the table. And then if you notice on the piece that actually sits on the table, there is a slot there. And that little slot is where you would slide this piece here, and then your boom arm would effectively go in through that and into the arm, and it is all stable and sturdy. So I'm going to connect it right here with my cup of coffee in the background because I don't care why. So for starters, when you're connecting this bottom piece to your desk, you probably just want to add like a little piece of cardboard, flat piece there, so it doesn't damage the bottom of your desk, if you care about that. And just so you can see, I'm going to slide this to the side right there and just slide with the slot present, right, facing the actual clamp. Slide it into it and close it up with it connected like that. And all you have to do is mount your bionic looking arm onto the table. Done. You're mounted. And you have full swivel ability. It's nice and smooth, but you can actually tighten it with the little clamp that comes with it right here on the bottom. And we're gonna mount, I guess, this microphone right here in front of me. All right, Tech Easy Gamers. So here we are, fully mounted with our arm and microphone all set up and connected. So when building it, there's a few things to take notice that, for one, these two clamps where you can actually channel your cabling for your microphone, they are interchangeable. So you can swap this one with that one with this one. They're exactly the same make, size, and build. So because I got confused and I forgot which one was which, and I was able to put both on either side. So that's a plus. Two, snapping and unsnapping them on and off was relatively easy. You just kind of just slide them forward. The USB connection, the USB-C power connection for the actual LED to light up your arm is located at the base, well, just near the base, right where this exit is. You can't miss it. There's a little DC 5-volt little symbol there in the front. And you just connect your USB-C straight up into that. And yeah, that's it. You're all set up. All right, so let's go ahead and connect the power and see what happens. That is a nice little cool animation upon startup. I really do like the way, wow, this thing glows in here. Maybe just turn these lights off so you can see what it looks like. Here we are in complete darkness with our light setup. Tell me, how cool does that look? Yes, this is how you really step up your game if you're a gamer or a podcaster. You just want to look nice and flashy. Now, one thing I will make note of is that this arm is quite strong, so be sure that you mount your base nice and tight, because once you start lifting this up, you're gonna see it's gonna start putting a little bit of that pressure and weight on the base. Also, make sure that your table is strong enough and it doesn't crack in half when you're moving it. Another thing to take note of is that the cable that comes with it is just for charging or for power. It will not, I mean, you don't have to charge this, but it is for only supplying power to the arm, and you cannot use that alternatively with, let's say, a microphone or any device that transmits data, right? Because it won't work. I tried it with this mic and there's no data. It's simply for power. So what can you do with this device? So if you notice on the arm, you have this logo right here, which has a toner, but it also has this little circular piece that goes over the top. The other side does not have that. That is your touch sensitive capacitor. What? Flux capacitor.
The flux capacitor. Flux capacitor.
That is touch sensitive, and that is what will change the RGB modes on this arm. Let's try it out. Ooh, nice and red. All right, so pressing it once, it looks like it's going through a color cycling mode. It's just changing through each color, turning off and on, blue, then dark blue, then green. It's gonna cycle through all of the colors. Let's press it again. It looks like a slow gradation of color from every RGB color, green, red, blue, you name it. It's just slowly and gradually changing through them. This one looks cool and energetic. Looks like when you are powered up, and it's kind of just creating this movement flow here. Even the actual logo up here has that animation. Quite nice. And I presume you probably were going to get some solid colors. This is a solid blue if you're trying to create an effect or ambience or a theme in your room, in your setup. Blue, so we're probably going to cycle through all of the colors in a solid mode, right? Solid red, quite a lot of colors and options to change through. And if you wanted to power it off, you just hold the touch sensitive button here and it will shut off your lights. Hold it for 3 seconds to power it back on. 1, 2, 3. And you're back in effect. And you create that little startup animation, and then you're at the last setting you had it set at. Now, if there was some cons that I wanted to bring up, perhaps, I would say that maybe the plastic here, it's got to be a little careful when you're sliding it out. You don't want to crack it. It's a little thin on the flimsy side, so just be careful when you're removing your channel brackets here, right, where you channel your cables, because if you break it, there that goes. You have to wrap it around. It's gonna look all sloppy and it defeats the whole entire purpose, so be careful. So techies and gamers, what do I think about this? I love this thing. It's quite awesome, and it's going to be the new arm that I will be using in the other room. This is quite nice and classy. If you are into the RGB and sprucing up your live streaming and your game recording, even your podcasting, if maybe you have a flashy kind of style of podcasting that this can be suitable for. Not every podcast can use all these RGB lights, but if you do, this is an awesome addition to that. Very easy to build, very easy to mount. The color replication here is actually quite awesome. I like the specs that it has, the different number of variety of colors you can cycle through and effects. Pretty sturdy build. Definitely can hold a lot of weight on this, so do not worry if your mic weighs 2 pounds. I don't know whose mic weighs that much, but this can handle that, so do not worry. The tension on these things are pretty tough, and I believe there's a screw hole at these joints, so if you wanted to make it even tighter or looser, that's an option. That's totally up to you. Routing of the cables, that is an A+. You have that nice, clean, futuristic look. You don't have to have your cables wrapping around. And another thing is you want to be careful when you're sliding off your cable channel brackets here. They are made of 100% plastic, a little bit of a thin plastic, so it can be a little flimsy. So be careful not to break that and dismount it properly, because as you see here, it comes off quite easy. So if you're moving the arm, you may even slide it off accidentally. So yeah, just one little minor thing. Otherwise, outside of that, this device makes the pass on the Tech Toys and Gaming Show. That's right. So if you're looking to upgrade and you are looking for a device or arm boom kit like this, then this may be for you if you want to be extra flashy and gamey, I guess. And if you want to get that, check the link in the description. I have all the details there for you to get to the site to purchase it at your convenience. If you have any other questions regarding this device, just leave those comments in the comment section, obviously. And with that, I'll see you in my next video. Later.